welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Yancy and this is my garden. Well, we're about to go into the garden. Today is October 20th and the temps has been in the highs of 50s and 60s and the lows of 40s. So we're definitely getting there, okay, into the cold weather, and I still have a ton of summer plants still out here. I've actually been neglecting this garden because I need to do a full harvest of everything from the summer, and it's just a lot, so I'm doing it, you know, one day at a time. But I decided that I am going to give you a fall tour of what I have going on in the garden and what it's looking like. It's looking like a disaster, but I'm going to show you all of the things that we still have out here. Some of them are still producing, they're still ripening, and all of the good stuff. So come along with me. Let me just show you guys what we got still going on in this garden that's going to be harvested every single day of this week and what we're trying to get out of here. And then after the tour, you guys are going to be harvesting the jute leaf with me because it is time. It's been time to get the jute leaf out of this garden as we are getting everything out of the garden. The first thing we're about to harvest today will be the jute leaf. So after the garden tour, we're gonna harvest the jute leaf. So come along. Let me show you guys all of the things that's in the garden, okay? Come along, y'all. I hope y'all enjoy this fall garden tour.
One look and I breathe.
Alrighty, y'all, I am going to start literally with the front of my fence because I have a ton of stuff growing on the fence this year, and then we're going to walk into the garden. So instead of actually starting in the garden this time around like I normally would, we're going to start from the beginning, which is the beginning of my fence, like the beginning of the backyard all the way going to the back. So let's get started because I definitely utilize every part of my backyard that I possibly could to grow something. So starting with here, y'all see that I grew a ton of tomatoes on my fence, and I still have a ton of tomatoes that are still here. They're green, some of them they're still turning color. My kids, I have them harvesting as much as they can, but y'all, I have so many green tomatoes that are still here, and I have no clue what I'm going to do with all of these green tomatoes. If y'all have any ideas what to do with these tomatoes, let me know, okay? And also the tomatoes that I have grown around this fence, these were like the extra tomatoes after I planted the tomatoes I wanted to plant in my garden, and I had a bunch of extra tomatoes that I did not know what to do with after giving it away and selling some on Facebook. So that's what is going on over here. So those are the extras. But let me know in the comments if y'all know what I could do with all these green tomatoes. But I have been harvesting a lot of them and putting them by my windowsill, and they have been changing colors, because that's one of the things that you could do is if you have a bunch of green tomatoes that you don't know what to do with, put it next to your windowsill, or, you know, take it in, especially if it already has like a blush on it, it's going to change color. But yes, y'all, so that's what I have going along here. And now as we walk towards the backyard, you'll see I have some loofahs here that are still a little young, and then I have some much more mature loofah plants. Like, my intention was for them to like dry out so I could get the loofah sponge, but because they started growing so late into the season, I don't think it's gonna make it. And loofah plants are hot weather plants, they do not like the cold, so I'm gonna unfortunately have to harvest a lot of them and eat it like zucchinis. But I wanted it to be loofah sponge, so we'll see what happens. I've just been leaving them out here and letting them, just neglecting them. I haven't even been watering these plants, you know, and I watered, the last time I watered was probably like a week ago, and I'm probably gonna water it today after I'm done harvesting the jute leaf. But yes, y'all, so we have the loofahs. We have a ton of loofahs, and this one looked like it's drying out. My thing is, I don't know if it's drying out or if it's the cold weather that has it looking like this, but I think it's drying out. But I feel like it's kind of too late. Doesn't it need, I think it needs like super hot weather for it to dry out fully, but we shall see. But y'all, look at this. Isn't it pretty? Oh my gosh, I just saw a bee. Look at that bee, y'all. This bee is working. I did not think bees work in the fall. That is so crazy. Y'all, look at these baby loofahs that are trying to come in, and the bees are over here pollinating them. And oh wow, look at this one. This is huge. This is in my neighbor's yard. So this is the bag that the loofah plant is in, and I usually keep water in this bottle, so I'm using this bottle like a drip system to keep the roots of the plants moisturized or just hydrated. And I think it's been helping out, you know, the loofah plants because they look fine, like they look good. I'm really shocked like how good the loofah plants look, and it definitely has been doing its job. So, you know, the fact that I haven't watered like in a week, it looks perfectly fine. Okay. As we go along the fence, let me show you guys another thing that I'm growing on this fence. Y'all already know I grew my watermelon on the fence, and yeah, they're definitely over it. It is definitely over for these watermelons. I have them growing on my chain link fence, and y'all remember I had a terrible situation with my watermelons this year where I only got like one huge mature crimson sweet watermelon, and then in September, like towards the end of September, I started seeing like watermelons like evolve, and I'm like, what is going on here? And so y'all, I have 2 watermelons that is on my fence, and they are a decent size. Y'all, look at these watermelons, y'all. And I think this one is ready. I have a strong feeling it's ready, but these are crimson sweet watermelons, so they should be way bigger than this. So I'm just wondering, like, shouldn't this be bigger than this? And honestly, because the weather have totally changed, I don't think that, I don't know, I just don't think that we're gonna get much from this watermelon. I don't think it's gonna ripen, but who knows? I think this one probably ripened, but I'm still shocked because I feel like it should be bigger than this. But also the tendril right here is dried, and that is one of the ways to tell that your watermelon is ready, is when the tendril that's closest to the stem connected to the watermelon is dried or is drying. That means the watermelon is ready. So that's another thing that need to be harvested. And if it's not ready, we're just gonna create probably some Asian delight with the rinds, because you can't eat the watermelon rinds, or just probably put in a smoothie or something. But I was angry in the summer, but whatever, at least I got a really good one. And I already know what the issue was with why only one developed this year, but I'll do a separate video about all of the fails, the triumph and fails of the season. But yeah, y'all, it's growing, y'all. It's still out here. It's still out here, y'all. It's still out here now. And this is the bag that I have my watermelon growing in as well. And as you can see, I have this bottle filled with water also, and it's providing water to the roots, and I'm using it as a drip system. So there you have it. So before I continue to go all the way down the line of my fence, since I am already over here, I have some things over here that's near like my little sitting area. So let me go ahead and show you guys what we have over here, and then we will continue to go down the fence. So earlier in the year, this is where I grew like my lettuce and things like that. So you'll see like a bunch of like little lettuce plants in here. These are all volunteer plants. So after early on in the season, I plant my lettuce, and then after the lettuce went to seed, I planted some cucumbers in here. That's what you see. This is connected to that, and I only had like one successful cucumber, sadly, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so because I already grew lettuce in here earlier in the season, and when it went to seed, I'm sure a bunch of the seeds like fell back in here. So these are all voluntary. I did not replant any lettuce seeds in here. As a matter of fact, I haven't replanted lettuce seeds in here probably for about 2 years now, because whenever it goes to seed, it falls back in here and it regrows every single time. So it's like on clockwork. So isn't it amazing? I got some beautiful lettuce, and I think I have arugula in here as well. But anyway, so over here I have some strawberries. These are all in like grow bags and things like that. And then over here I have some extra peppers that I have growing in these little containers right here. And then I still got more strawberries over here. And then over here, I have like a ton of peppers. I have a ton of peppers. Y'all gonna see that I grew a ton of peppers. I grew like over 500 peppers this year, but I didn't personally grow them all in my backyard. I saw a bunch of them, but I also personally grew a ton of them. I started over 500 pepper seeds. I don't even know how in the world I did that, but yeah. So these were like all extra peppers that couldn't fit in my garden, that I have growing in grow bags all over here. All Alrighty, y'all. So over here by my house, I have like an extra pepper garden. Y'all, it is super windy today, so I really hope y'all can hear me. I created like a pepper garden like close to my house just because I had a ton of peppers and I'm like, what am I gonna do with it? I might as well do something, okay? So I grow a lot of my food in grow bags. So everything over here are in grow bags, and I just created like a little pepper forest for myself. I have a ton of peppers growing here. As a matter of fact, it's all bell peppers that are grown over here, and it is a lot. So I have like a ton of mini bell peppers, I have a ton of regular bell peppers. And then on this little thing that I created, I am growing more loofah. And look at how humongous this loofah is, y'all. This thing is huge. Oh my God, this thing is huge. Wow. But anyway, I have it grown in a grow bag over there. I'll show you guys where it's growing. But I created this little trellis situation, and I have it growing behind the peppers. And then I have the peppers in front of it. So this is it right here. It's next to the banister thing where you see my stairs that go to my basement. So when I tell you guys, I take advantage of every single space that I possibly can in my backyard, while also keeping space for my children to be able to play and for us to be able to host gatherings. So, you know, my garden is all the way down there, and then I just have like a ton of things growing in spaces where I could possibly put them. Like you see by my fence right there, I have a bunch of stuff growing where we were just at, and we're about to go back there to continue. But I just wanted to, since we were, you know, over here, I just stopped at the watermelons. Since we were at the watermelons, I decided to show you guys everything that we have over here surrounding the sitting area, and then my little situation that I got back here. And then we're gonna go back to the fence so we can carry on, so I can show y'all everything I have on the fence, and then we're gonna enter the garden. Okay, so hang in there. All right. As we continue to go along our little pepper, I call this my pepper forest, and it really was a pepper forest before. So all of the peppers that you see along the fence that I'm going to show you guys after we leave here, it was sitting over here, and I created like a little situation here. But you know, I'm like, you know what, the fence get a lot more sun, because you see over here I have trees that's up there, and it is kind of covering up some of the sun over here. So I'm like, you know what, let me just put some bags near the fence. Why not so they can get as much sun as possible. But anyway, here we go, y'all. As you can see, it has been super windy, so
It's very dirty.
very dirty. Okay, go put it in our basket. But yes, y'all, so the wind has definitely been abusing my plants. The peppers, they have been falling all over the place. So as we go into the garden, you're gonna see a bunch of stuff that have fallen over. Oh my goodness. Elle, come get this one.
What basket?
Get this pepper.
What basket?
Put it in the tomato basket that's over there. It's okay. Take it. All right, y'all, so this is my little pepper situation, and then let me show you. This is where I have the leafy plant growing, and y'all see I have my little bottle. Oh, it might be empty. Is it empty? Yep. Oh, it's empty. I need to put some more water in here. This is where I have the loofah growing in, and then I just allow it to connect to this little banister area, and then it went onto my trellis situation, and it's doing its thing. So there are so many ways to maximize the space and to do what you need to do in a very not so costly manner. Alrighty, y'all, let's go back towards the fence so y'all can see the rest of the things that we have on the fence, and then we'll enter the garden so we can hurry up and harvest our jute leaf. Okay. Alrighty, y'all, after the watermelons, I have just, you know, a ton of peppers that I have grown along here, a bunch of mini bell peppers and regular sized bell peppers. And then I have an eggplant right here. So this eggplant, I didn't think it was gonna grow that much anyway, because I took it out of a bed where I planted way too many eggplants. And so I just took it out of the bed and put it in a grow bag, and I'm like, let's see what's gonna happen. So it looked like an eggplant is about to grow right here. So who knows? With this weather, Let me tell y'all, it is cold. So these plants, these are all summer plants. They do not like the cold. So I don't anticipate them growing any bigger than that. But it's fine because if y'all saw that harvesting video where I harvested so many eggplants, oh my God. Alrighty, y'all, we got more peppers growing all along the fence. And then if you see on my fence is where I grew that super big watermelon that I told you guys that I harvested earlier in the season. This is the bag it was sitting in. It was growing on here. And this is the bag right here that it was planted in. And after I harvested that, another one did not grow on this particular bag, but then 2 grew in that bag, which is super cool. And of course, y'all know we got pepper galore everywhere. I think this is the Hungarian paprika. Yep. This is the Hungarian paprika. I need to harvest these because I am saving the seeds for you guys. It's a very delicious paprika. But yes, y'all, so as we go along in this bed right here, so I have like a raised bed right here, and this is where I was telling you guys I grew way too many eggplants in one bed. Like when I say I grew too many eggplants, I did not realize that eggplants grew so big. I mean, I did not know the actual plant was such a huge plant, and I grew way too many eggplant in this one small bed. This bed is a 3x4 bed, by the way, and I cannot believe I was trying to grow all those eggplants. But y'all, I already harvested like about 6 eggplants during the summer, and I have a ton more coming. So I have 2 right here that needs to get harvested, and then I see one back there. It looks really big, and another one right there, and another one right there. So these are like all eggplants, and I think there's like an eggplant. I think I see one down there as well. So I see like an eggplant growing everywhere. And then on top of the amount of eggplants that I planted in here, I planted bitter ball in this bed as well, y'all. Bitter ball grows so big. Like when I say it grows so big, like I don't know what I was thinking. And then I also planted like marigolds in here, and the type of marigolds that I planted this year, I did not realize that they were the type of marigolds that grow so huge. Like it grows in such like a huge bush. Like this is the marigolds that I planted in here. Like when I tell y'all this thing grows way huger than this, because I have some inside of my my bed in my garden, y'all. This thing is so big, and I had to take some of it out of here. But yes, y'all, I cannot believe I actually thought I could put all of this stuff in here. And then speaking of the bitter ball that I planted in here, y'all, this is the bitter ball plant. And I think I put like 2 or 3 of this bitter ball plant in here, y'all. This plant gets so big. Like, look at how big it is. First of all, the wind is the reason why it's even leaning over, or possibly because it's just a huge plant and it can't balance. But y'all, this thing is huge. I cannot believe I put all of that in the 3x4 bed. I am going to do like a separate video of all the things not to do, okay? when you start. And this year, because I started so many seeds, I was trying to grow everything that I started as much as I can. And I was just stuffing things any and everywhere, as you can see, okay? But I mean, you know, for the most part, it did okay. It probably could have done way better if I didn't, you know, cram them up like that together. But hey, I got a ton of bitter ball, which I am so happy about. Oh, my favorite, y'all. These things are so expensive in the grocery stores. They're really expensive. Like, they don't even sell them in regular grocery stores. You only find these in like the international market or like an African market or something like that. And this is like one of my favorite things to eat. It makes some of my favorite foods. So the fact that I was able to grow these and a lot of it, I am so happy about that. But anyway, so let me show y'all. Oh, look at this eggplant right here. It's another eggplant, y'all. So anyway, so this is the 3x4 bed, and I have another 3x4 bed right here, and then I have a grow bag right here that's under all of these things. So in here I have more of the bitter ball. That's what I have grown in here. And then in this 3x4 bed, they're all bitter balls that's grown in here. So this is the color that they turn when you should harvest them. As you can see, it has been sitting here. It needs to get harvested ASAP. Okay, ASAP. I need to get them out of here. You can still eat them while they're green, but also, you know, you want them to change colors if they can. that's what we have here. Oh, remember I was telling y'all about how big the marigolds get? Y'all, I put a marigold inside the grow bag with the bitter ball, and y'all, look at how much it had taken over the bag. And it was a 5-gallon grow bag that I grew the bitter ball in, and I'm never doing that again because it is way too small for this plant. This plant is too big. It needs a lot of root space, so you need to use like at least a 10-gallon bag to grow a eggplant or a bitter ball plant. And bitter ball is in the nightshade family, so it needs a lot of space. It needs a lot of space. But y'all, look at these marigolds. They were so pretty. Ooh, they were so beautiful. And I wish I did not plant them with my plants because I did not realize that they get so big. My goodness. Anyway, as we go along, here is another bitter ball plant that I have here, and it is grown in another 5-gallon grow bag that's next to that. And then today, what we're harvesting, which is so sad because I should have harvested this plant like earlier in the summer, because now it looks really terrible and a lot of it has started to turn brown and it's falling off. It's my jute leaf plant. I feel so bad because I definitely neglected this plant, and I am finally about to harvest it today, at least, you know, the good ones that I'm able to get. But here it is, y'all. My jute leaf plant. Last year, this jute leaf plant, it was magnificent. It grew probably 10 feet or higher. So this year was really tough with a lot of my things growing, but that's for another video, okay? Right now, we're just showing you all the things we have in the garden. But anyway, that's it, y'all. We have the jute leaf plant next to all of the things. So I just literally showed you guys everything that I have growing along my fence from the beginning of the backyard all the way towards the end of the backyard. These are all of the things that I have growing on the fence. So now we're about to go into the garden. Okay. Come along, come along. Alrighty, y'all, so this is the entrance to my garden. I have 2 entrances, this one right here and that one right there. Over here I have grapes growing on here. We already harvested that during the summer. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go take a watch. It was worth it. Okay, delicious grapes, and they were Concord grapes. Oh my god, they were so sweet. But anyway, so over here I have some peppers growing over here. Let's see. Ooh, it's a lot of them still coming in, y'all. Look at these. It's like, look at these little babies that are still trying to come in. But anyway, I have a bunch of, so these are all like jalapenos and bell peppers right here. And then back there, I have some habaneros. These are my habaneros that I have growing here. And y'all, that plant gets so big. And then of course, in the middle, this is where I grow my herbs and things like that. And yo, like I said, I regret putting the marigolds in a lot. This particular marigolds in a lot of my plants because it just became so huge. Like, look at how big this marigold got in my herb garden. Like, that was not necessary. Okay, so because I have some flowers in here, and I typically do like lavender and then some other herbs, and then like a flower. And this year I put marigold in here. My lord, it just took over the bed. But yep, I grew a ton of herbs in here. And then peppers here, and down here, this is some mint that I grew in here. And then, so what I'm going to do is I will start the garden tour going from this entrance, and then we'll come out of this entrance because the jute leaf is right next to it, and then we're going to harvest the jute leaf. How about that? Okay. Is that okay with y'all? All right, come along. Alrighty, y'all. So over here, this is where I grew like my tomatoes. So my tomatoes is growing on this little arch that's in the front of my garden. And I grew a ton of herbs in here as well. So this was basil, it's all gone. And I also had that's a lot of oregano that I need to harvest ASAP. And then I also had a ton of cilantro and a ton of parsley in here as well. Growing in this bed. And when I tell y'all, grow your food with herbs, the flavor, I promise you, you will never stop growing your food with herbs if you do what I'm telling you, especially your tomatoes. Grow your tomatoes with a ton of herbs. The flavor is so amazing. Oh my gosh, don't say I didn't tell y'all nothing. Alrighty, so as we come to the entrance of the garden, like I said, I grew a bunch of tomatoes on there. So that's tomatoes that I grew in this other side of the bed as well. And it's just growing along the fence. I also grew like flowers and herbs, like I mentioned. And when I tell y'all, they are still changing colors. Oh my gosh, y'all. This tomato is so delicious. I think somebody said this is the yellow pear, but I thought it was gonna be in like a pear shape, but I guess. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Yo, look at all the tomatoes that's on the ground that don't fell off of here that needs to get harvested ASAP. So I need to come harvest as soon as possible. I have my children helping me get some of this stuff off of there as much as they can. But yes, guys, I have a bunch of tomatoes growing on here. Okay. Trying to, oh, and these are my favorite. These are the sun golds. They're so delicious. Alrighty, y'all, let's go into the garden. You already seen the tomato arch. The reason why I'm like trying to hurry up and take these off is because I feel like by tomorrow they're not gonna be good. So I'm over here like trying to harvest as I am doing this tour. All right, that's my last time. That's my last one. That's my last one. There's so many that needs to be harvested. So y'all already seen this. So now let's enter the garden. Lord have mercy. Ooh, it's a disaster in here, my Lord. But alrighty, y'all. So starting from over here, y'all see I have some bitter leaf growing down here. So these are bitter leaf that needs to get harvested, and when I harvest the bitter leaf, I'm also going to propagate the stem so that I can grow it next year. And I think this year I'm going to put the stem inside of my Etsy store for some of you guys that's been asking for it. So I am going to propagate them, and I'll let you guys know when the stem is ready for you guys to purchase them, so you too can have your own bitter leaf in your garden. Okay, so as we pan over here to the left of the garden, I have a ton of peppers. Okay, I'm growing all the peppers in here. I have a bunch of bell peppers in here. I have serrano. I have some habaneros. Look at these beautiful habaneros right here. OMG, they are gorgeous. Gorgeous. And when I tell y'all, I just grew a ton of peppers. For why? We're gonna talk about it later. So I have a bunch of peppers in here, serrano, jalapeno. I just showed you guys the habanero, bell peppers, mini bell peppers, all of the things. And then down there I planted some rosemary, you know, to give it a little flavor. Then y'all, I had this huge sunflower in here, and I'm gonna harvest this. And when I harvest this, I am going to put the seeds in my store. I'm gonna save some of the seeds to grow next year, because this was a huge sunflower. It was so beautiful. And growing sunflowers with your food is really good because it aerates the soil and bring in a lot of beneficial bugs, you know, to your soil. So we'll talk more about that in another video. But anyway, yeah, I'm so happy that I grew this in here, and I'm so excited. And when I harvest the seeds, when I get this out, I am also going to keep this to use it as a stake like this for next year. Okay, so yeah, so that's all I have in here before we go to the back. So let me show you the right over here. In this bed I have more peppers in here, like bell peppers and things like that. And then in the front of the garden I have more eggplant, and when I tell y'all, they are coming along. They're so beautiful. It is so many that is coming on in there, and I think I see one like somewhere back there. All in the front are eggplant. Oh, there's another one right there. And then a bunch of peppers in the back. Okay, so I think I don't know if I should go around there and then bring you back. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So let's go back there. Let's go to the back so I can show you what's all back there, and then we'll do a little circle in the garden. Okay. Alrighty, y'all, let's go to the back of the garden so I can show you guys what's all the happenings back here. So this is where I keep my compost, and next year all of this stuff is going to be going into the beds, and that is our natural fertilizer for the garden, which is going to help produce more and more plants per usual. But y'all, look at this crazy mess over here. Oh my God. I don't know. I think I might have to harvest these peppers tomorrow. Lord, this wind, when I tell you guys, the wind just blew everything over. But these are all habanero peppers. If you guys remember, these are the habaneros that were extra habaneros, and I just had way too many and didn't know what to do with it, so I just put all of them in here. I don't even know how many habanero plants that I have grown in this bed, but this bed is a 4x8 bed. The entire thing is an 8x8, and then I put some blocks in the middle just to separate them to see if I wanted to grow different things in here. I have corn and stuff grown in here, but the animals won't let them be great. So I was like, you know what? I just decided to put some peppers in here, and y'all, it is a lot of peppers. Oh my gosh, there's so many, so many. I need to pick all these babies up. Anyway, it needs to get harvested. I'm not even gonna toy with it right now because, you know, we have to hurry up with this tour because I have to go harvest before the sun go down. You know, we in fall now, so the sun is starting to go down really, really fast. That's why I'm talking extremely fast too, by the way, y'all. By the fence, I have extra peppers that I planted also by the fence, just because I had so many peppers, didn't know what to do with. The rest of them, I put them in my compost, but as many as I could plant, I plant them all around. So I have like a bunch of peppers all around the fence, and I have videos showing you guys how I planted every single thing in this garden. Like every single thing you guys see growing here, I have a video for it. So if y'all want to see how we did all of this from seed till now, definitely go watch the video and it will show you all of it. So over here, hi. Just so y'all know, a tree fell into my garden earlier this summer. Before like, I think it was May, a tree fell in here, and it was after I had transplanted all of my things. So when y'all see this garden, you wouldn't even believe that a tree fell in here, and because of how well it did, it could have been better if the tree didn't fall. But still, my garden is so resilient, and I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love y'all. You know, you gotta talk to your plants sometime and let them know you're proud of them so they can keep doing their thing, especially the soil. You know, the soil is where is that? Thank you. But anyway, yeah, so the tree fell from over there straight into my garden, and it fell everywhere. It broke that right there, my little entrance that I just showed you guys on my tomatoes. The entire thing broke, y'all. So many things broke in here, and then God said, watch me, okay? So I'm exhausted. Okay, I am exhausted. I've been working hard. All right. But anyway, so the reason why I even brought the tree thing up is because when it fell, I had to buy another one of these. And so I cut it in half, and I used the other half for my cantaloupe bed, which I'm going to show you guys. And then the other half, I didn't know what to do with it. And so I was like, you know what? I have extra cantaloupe plants. So I decided to just put it back here and planted these extra cantaloupe plants on them and let it grow in there and see what happens. So I just didn't want things to go to waste. My husband was like, it's okay, you can leave some things on the cutting room floor. And I'm like, yes, you can, but you don't have to. So I try to grow as many things as possible, y'all. But anyway, let's continue to go around and around. Alrighty, y'all, as we go along the garden, oh my Lord, I don't know where I'm stepping. I am scared, because y'all know I'm scared to see one of them underbelly friends, because yes, they do be back here too. But anyway, I have more peppers growing across the fence, and I'll show you guys what I have going on in there. But since we're over here, this is another tomato bed that I have going on. So y'all saw, I showed you guys like the peppers and the eggplant that's growing in the front. This is another 8x8 bed that I cut in half. And so I have peppers and the eggplant growing in the front there. And then over here, I have more tomatoes, and I created like a little tunnel-like situation for my tomatoes. So, and then I have tomatoes growing like over here on this little trellis that me and my husband created. And then it's coming like over top here, and it's like hanging on this other trellis thing that we have going on for like to create like a little tunnel so we'll be able to walk under it and, you know, collect the tomatoes. And then same thing over here with the trellis going across that way. So the reason why I did that is because I want to grow as many tomatoes as I can, and I knew a lot of it would be over on top of here, so I just put that thing up there so it can make it easier to collect the tomatoes. It was a lot. It's a lot of tomatoes, and as y'all can see, it's a lot of tomatoes that needs to be harvested because I see a bunch of red tomatoes. For real, I probably should have been bringing my basket with me and harvesting as we're doing this tour. We'll do another harvesting video another day because of these tomatoes, probably tomorrow, because I need to hurry up before the sun goes down. All right, y'all, as we go along back here in these bags, back here I grew okra in them. As you can see, these are all like the okra stems. They grew so tall. Oh my gosh, y'all, they grew so tall, so tall. A bunch of okra in these bags, and they started like really producing later on into the season, which I was kind of confused why it took so long to produce. I didn't get a ton of okra this year, and you know, like as much as I did last year, but the plant was extremely healthy. It was beautiful and it grew like humongous. I did not even realize it was gonna grow that tall. And you can see this is a 10-gallon grow bag, and I had about, let's see, 2, 4, 6 plant growing in each, between like 5 to 6 plants growing in each. And then this one has like 4 in there. And I think when you have like a 10-gallon grow bag, you should stick to 4 okra plants growing in them if that's where you want to grow your okra. I think the 4 is the sweet spot, and I feel like you're gonna get more out of it than growing too much in it, because now they're competing for space. So we had going on in there, and then over here we had some raspberry, very delicious raspberry grown in here. I need to trim this plant because when I tell y'all, this thing started growing everywhere this summer. So that's one of my plans, is I'm gonna cut it down all the way down. I'm gonna cut it all the way down and let it start over, and let it start like growing all over, because child, it grew everywhere. It started popping up everywhere. That's the thing about raspberries and things like that. If you plant them in the ground, they're gonna pop up everywhere, and they already started doing that. They're very invasive, but I'm gonna definitely trim it down and let it start over. So that's what I got going on in there. All right, y'all, so over here is the baddie of the garden. So over here in this bed, this is where I grew my millions of cantaloupes. And when I say millions, I'm not exaggerating. I had a ton of cantaloupe growing in this bed. And then around the perimeter of the bed, I just had a ton of flowers. Like, again, remember, look at these marigolds. Look at how tall they got. They are so big. I have like a ton of like different flowers and herbs that I had growing along this bed right here. I mean, it was quite a lot. And then on the other side, I will show you guys on the other side of this bed what I have growing on the other side. But since we are here, you know, over here, let me show you guys what I got growing over here, and then we'll go on that side, which is the other side of the garden, and show you guys what's growing on this side, on the other side of the bed. Y'all, over here I got a ton of like spicy and non-spicy peppers, but they're like all exotic peppers growing over here. Over here I have some strawberries. This is a celery plant that's growing in here, and I find this really strange because I think it went to seed, but then I feel like it's starting to grow back. I don't even know what's going on. And honestly, is this really celery? It was celery that was in here. So, and I thought the celery went to seed. So y'all let me know if y'all grow celery. Is this a special celery, like a unique celery? Why does it look like this? That's what I had growing on in there, was the celery. And then I have some strawberries growing here, y'all. I got strawberries growing everywhere. I mean, they're so invasive. They're growing everywhere because all of this here, these are all strawberries down there, and then it all started from this strawberry plant that I had hanging in my garden. So I decided to hang like a strawberry plant in here right there, and then it just started like growing, and this started attaching down to the ground, and then it just started spreading everywhere in the garden, and I have to like get rid of it. I even did like a garden and play for the children, and I dug up all of the strawberries from here to take for them to plant, and it's still more. So I'm definitely gonna have to dig up more and get rid of it. But anyway, so I have some peppercini in this bag right here. So these are some peppercini, and y'all are going to get these seeds. And then I have, these are the luchauer paprika growing here. And then these are the poblano, and I'm gonna have all of those seeds for y'all. And then moving on, I have some shishito growing here, right here. So these are some shishito. So I just have like a bunch of grow bags growing on this thing right here, sitting on this thing right here. And then look at all these shishitos. Oh my gosh, they're big. I didn't even realize the shishitos get that big. So I got some shishitos, and then these beautiful buena mulata, and they're very spicy, very spicy, but they are so freaking beautiful. Look at them. It's a lot of them. And so the final form for the buena mulatas is this beautiful orangey color, orangey red. Oh, it's so pretty, y'all. This is like such a beautiful plant to have in the garden. It was such a like a sight to see when it was like at its peak during the summer months. But it's still giving this thing. It's still doing this thing. Still doing this thing. So pretty. So I got the buena mulata, and then this is the back of my herb garden right here that I showed you guys, the front. And then as we go along, we have a lemon drop pepper, and y'all, the lemon drop, oh my gosh, y'all, the lemon drop is such a huge plant. I had no idea that this pepper grew so big. It doesn't look as big right now because I haven't been watering it, so they all look sad. But this thing is so big, like it spreads out. So next year I'm not gonna plant it next to the other peppers. I feel like it needs its own space. Like, y'all, let me show you what it's planted in right here. So this is a 10-gallon grow bag that I have it planted in, and when I tell y'all, this pepper, like, it grows a lot. Like, it grows so big. This thing is like stretching everywhere. I had no idea that this pepper grew like this, and it grows so big that it towers over all the other peppers, so you don't even realize that there are other things that's next to it, and it tends to like block the sun from it and everything. So if you guys decide to purchase these seeds from my store, just be mindful that this plant grows really big, so you need to dedicate like a space for it. And as you can see, it can grow in a grow bag. I have this growing in a 10-gallon grow bag. I think you just need like some type of cage to help tame it. If I had it sitting in like a tomato cage, maybe it was gonna help a little bit, you know. But ooh, child, yeah, that was a struggle. Anyway, lastly, as we come to the end of our exotica peppers, I have some big Thai peppers, like the spicy Thai peppers. Here they are, and the lemon drops are towering over it, so you can't even tell that the Thai pepper is here. You can't even barely see it unless you knew it was there. So these are the Thai peppers. They look more like cayenne peppers to me, but the person that I got these peppers from, they said these are Thai peppers, the super spicy one. They are extremely spicy, and they turn red. I think I see a red one somewhere in here without me dropping all of those peppers. I want to show you guys what they look like. So this is what the red looks like right here. Okay, and then you can eat them green and red, but I tend to let it turn red so I could create my very own cayenne pepper flakes. So that's what we have grown along over there. All right, y'all, now we are on the other side of my cantaloupe bed. I wanted to show you guys what I also had growing over here. I had like dill growing over here. This one of the herbs I had growing was some dill, and I see this beautiful dill is coming now that the temps have cooled down. And then I also had like more flowers and stuff like that. And then I had, y'all, tell me why I thought this was sage. Like, I thought I was growing sage in here. Whole time I was growing bitterball, y'all. So this is another bitterball plant. Y'all, can you believe that? I was so mad when I found out it was bitterball. But it's like, I wasn't too mad because I want a lot of bitterball, but I was like, what in the world? I thought I was growing sage. This is not sage. I was so mad, y'all. But anyway, it turned out to be bitterball. I had no idea. I don't know. I feel like the seedlings, maybe they all look alike or something. I don't know. But next year, I'm gonna make sure I'm growing sage because I love growing a ton of herbs because I love cooking with a ton of herbs. That's the baddie of the garden. If y'all remember early on in the season, this right here was a beauty, okay? A beauty in the garden. So beautiful. All right, y'all, as we come to the end of this garden tour, let me show you the last things that I have grown back here, and then we go ahead and harvest our jute leaf, okay? So back here I have more peppers. Surprise, surprise, I have more peppers, okay? So I have more peppers growing in here. So you can see these bell peppers, ton more peppers. I have a lot of plans for these peppers. I already explained to you guys one of the major plans that I have for next year is to bring to you guys my Liberian pepper sauce. Okay, so that's why I grew a ton of these, and you guys are going to also be tasting the peppers from my garden, and I cannot wait to bring that to y'all. But anyway, I have more peppers growing here, and then y'all, something brought like a tomato seed back here or something, because a random tomato started growing in this like tree log. This log is from this tree that also fell in my garden the year prior, actually last year. So this year a tree fell in my garden, last year a tree fell in my garden. We just have a ton of trees surrounding my garden, and they're not my tree, they're all my neighbor's tree. Anyway, yep, and there goes another big old tree that's towering over my garden. This was a huge tree that was towering over my garden, and then I told you guys about the one back there that fell in my garden. But anyway, last year this one fell in my garden, and then we chopped the logs up and have them sitting here because I have my grow bag sitting on some of them. And then this year I was gonna put a grow bag over here to sit on top of this log, and then I just saw this tomato plant just started growing out of nowhere. I was like, what in the world? I didn't put this here. Anyway, now I have a huge tomato bush over here, and I grow a ton of indeterminate tomatoes, so they're going to continue to grow as long as the weather is good. So it is going to cause a situation in places that you don't want it to be. So be very careful, okay? Especially if you're composting and things like that. Do not put tomatoes in your compost, especially with seeds. They're going to be a surprise for you everywhere, okay? In every places you do not want it to be. It is going to be a pain in the butt because tomatoes are like the worst weeds. They're resilient and I love them. I'm not talking bad about y'all. Love y'all, but it's a lot. But anyway, yes, y'all. So I have a ton of this tomatoes growing here, and I don't even know what kind of tomato that is, but it is what it is, okay? I'll use it anyway. And then over here I have more peppers. I think these are Scotch bonnets. Yeah, so over here I have a ton of like Scotch bonnet peppers. Like these are Scotch bonnets. Yep, these are all Scotch bonnet peppers. So I have a bunch of like Scotch bonnet peppers as well as habaneros, but it seems like all of those are Scotch bonnets. How interesting. Anyway, so I have a ton of Scotch bonnet peppers over here and some habaneros, and then back there I have like more bell peppers and things like that. And then I also have like jalapeno peppers that are growing here, and oh my gosh, they have already started to turn like super red. Whenever they turn like this, especially when they start getting these veins, you really want to harvest them, otherwise it's gonna go bad. Ugh. So let me just get them off now, even though I am planning to harvest them this week. So anyway, that's what I have all back here, okay? And then right here I have, this is a blueberry plant, but for blueberry to be successful you need about 2 of them so that it could pollinate each other. So I only have 1 plant here, and then the little blueberry that I get, I barely see it because the owners of the garden, aka the birds and the rest of their family members, they come and eat it before I can even take a look at them. So I need to figure out a better way to protect these, or I'm probably just going to take them out of here and grow them in a super large grow bag or a super large container and take it away from here and probably put it closer to my house, like with the other stuff that we have going on over there. But anyway, over here we have more bitter leaf. Okay, more bitter leaf. We have more bitter leaf, and finally they are starting to look good. They were struggling this summer. I didn't really, this will be like the first harvest. When I harvest these, they'll be like the first official harvest of the season. I didn't really get much of it, and this is not a lot. I should have gotten like way more than this summer, but this is when I decide to harvest these, they're going to be my first official harvest. So next year hopefully things are going to be better, because this year we didn't really get a lot of rain. It really sucked, and I think that was a huge issue with the plants that are grown in the ground, with them not, you know, doing what they're supposed to do because it didn't have a lot of water. But anyway, that's another topic for another day when we talk about that on that video, okay, about all of the things that did well and did not do well in my garden. But all right, y'all, so that's about it. Okay, that is the garden tour. We're back here to this entrance that grew my Concord grapes on them, and I've already taken you guys all around the garden and showed you what I had growing here this summer and what is still out here. And I'm quite shocked because I thought a lot of them would be dead, because the temps have been dropping to like 40s and things like that. So, and these are summer veggies, they do not like the cold, so I need to hurry up and get them out of here. Okay, so I just wanted to come and show you guys all of the things. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed the garden tour. Let me know, what was your favorite part of the tour in the comments, okay? So now come along, let's hurry up and harvest all of that jute leaf, because we need to get it out of here. It is struggling, okay? All righty, come along. Alrighty, y'all, I'm about to harvest this jute leaf, and I'm gonna take them inside and process them. I'm gonna take them off the stem when I get in the house, and then I'm gonna boil them and put them in the freezer for when I need to cook it. And if you're new here, I cook every Sunday on live, and I cook like different West African meals, and I've already made this jute leaf soup. In my culture, we call it palava sauce. That's what you make with jute leaf, amongst many other things. And we've already made it on live, so if you want to see how I use the jute leaf, please go ahead and watch that live, okay? I might edit it so it can make it easier for you guys to be able to watch it. But yeah, I did a live showing you guys exactly how I make this jute leaf. And for some of you guys that were on that live and was wondering what the jute leaf plant looks like that I cooked that time when we made jute leaf and fufu, when we made palava sauce and fufu, this is what the plant looks like. It looks actually better than this. It looks better than this. Right now they're looking really sad because they need water. I haven't watered them in a while, and they have been out here longer than they need to be. They should be very bright green and beautiful. You can eat them in salads and all of the things, okay? But all right, y'all, let's hurry up and harvest these before it gets dark out here, because the sun is definitely going down. Definitely. So come along, come along. Alrighty, y'all, we are all done harvesting all of our jute leaf. This is quite a lot, so I have a lot of work ahead of me. to process all of this to get it ready for the freezer to save for the year. But yes, y'all, an era has come to an end. Harvested as much as I could. Actually, I harvested everything. And y'all, I am so sad because as you can see, a lot of it fell in here because they started to dry out, you know, because I wasn't watering them and I wasn't taking care of them. So they were over it. So now I have to salvage as much as I can from in here and see what we're able to eat. But yeah, this is about to be a lot of work, y'all. Alrighty, I hope you enjoy the video. The time has come, the sun is going down. I gave you guys a really nice quick little view of the garden and what all is still in here from the summer. And I cannot believe it. It is getting super cold. Like right now, the temp has definitely dropped. The sun is going down quickly. But anyway, we're all done. In the coming of days, y'all about to see a bunch of harvesting videos. So just get prepared because y'all saw all the things we have to harvest, right? It is a lot. But we will have more conversations about everything about the garden, what went well, what didn't go well, all of the things, probably in November, because October, the rest of October, I have to use it for harvesting and just getting things up out of here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And y'all, I started a membership for those of you guys that want exclusive videos and lives. I will be doing members only lives where we can go more in depth about what we do in the garden, especially if you're a beginner garden. Go ahead and check out the different tiers and see what works best for you. If you would like to support me in that way, please go ahead and join the membership so we can start doing all of the things, okay? But alrighty, y'all, check in the description. I have a bunch of links for y'all for seeds and Amazon store, everything that you need for your garden. And so next year your garden can be popping just like mine. All right, so I catch you guys later. Don't forget to watch the last video if you did not watch that one, which was an epic harvest as well. Ooh, child, it was a lot of stuff. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later. See you on the next harvesting video, or I'll see you on Sunday where we get to cook some of the things that we harvested in the video, okay? So make sure you're checking the post on my YouTube channel. Make sure you're in my garden group on Facebook. Every time I'm going live or if I'm dropping a new video, I will update you guys on those platforms, okay? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And of course, please guys, I would love to grow my Instagram account because YouTube cannot be the only place where I'm growing, because you know, with what's going on nowadays in this world, only God knows, okay, where we might end up. So follow me on Instagram and TikTok so that we can continue the community in all of the places. All right, alrighty, y'all, I love you guys so much and I'll catch you guys later. Remember, you're exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. Happy gardening. Bye, y'all. Remember, y'all, if you're looking for organic heirloom seeds, go ahead in the description of this video and grab your pack of seeds in my Etsy store and get your garden popping. Bye, y'all. Happy gardening. Signature luxurious body butter is packed with all natural skin loving ingredients such as cocoa butter, coconut oil, shea butter, vitamin E oil, and baobab oil. Whipped to perfection, it is lightly made to be easily absorbed into the skin without clogging your pores. This body butter is free of parabens, sulfates, and synthetic fragrances. Your new bestie.